So, Chemo, I asked about the betting tax that has been removed from the system and what many are saying, the implications, the impact, and what have you. What do you have to say?
It's a form of punishment, or it's a way to discourage people from betting, but mostly it won't work.
If you want to take a decision and it is based on moral grounds largely, then know that the lifespan for it is very short. But if it is based on business grounds, there are so many avenues that you can use to implement those stuff, and it will still work for you and you might get the same results. So me, what I will urge these the authorities, that is Deputy Abeku Santana and um, the top, yeah, Mrs. Hodgetu, thank you, that they should know that this particular problem is not about going to put a camera on that particular guy, but the conversation goes beyond him. And you see the scammer tag that Wode put on him, I believe it is also out of his frustration.
Ride or drive with Shaxi. Download the Shaxi ride-hailing app and sign up as a driver or rider. Get Shaxi today from the Google Play and Apple App Store today.
Looks like we are set once again, and we are meeting here on Sammy Flex TV to do the thing our own way, our own style, to talk about some of the issues happening in our space. And I know the big one is sure going to be here as well. Many issues happening within the Ghana media space. I'm monitoring some from London, and I know how it feels to be in Ghana at the moment. One big one that is happening, trending at the moment, is the fact that after our budget reading for 2025 and beyond, the Minister of Finance, that is one who happens to be bringing the people more hope. Ato, it is me, Ato. Ato has given Ghanaians hope, especially among Panthers. And when I say Panthers, I'm talking about people who love to bet. The fact that we have taken the 10% of our earnings or our winnings from the tax thing has gotten many people jubilating, including Shatta Wale, who has even released a song for that purpose, a song that he calls the betting tax or tax bet or something like that. As it stands, many are happy, especially within the betting community. But on the other hand, I've seen some people who are also at the opposite position, and they are saying that, what are you guys saying? In a country where we are looking for people to stop some social menace, something that can be addictive and cause so many problems, you people are happy because the government wants you to bet or what? They have also seen some loopholes in that area. Maybe, according to the NPP, they were doing that to discourage more people from using their hard-earned money for that game of chance. But NDC says no, no betting tax, allow everybody. Some are happy, others also say no, this is a bad start. Well, stories are there, budget reading is out there, and this has been confirmed. Shatta Wale has a song to jubilate on that particular budget discipline or budget reading. I want to ask my people that how do they also see it in today's edition of Showbiz Daily right here on Sammy Flex TV. My name is Sammy Flex, still giving you a report all the way from London, the city of BBC. And I'm saying thank you to my team of producers, Theophilus Digosh, Sam Tuga, and the usual pundits in Team Dode Solomon Chemo, as well as Roland Amate. And you are the other side, also enjoying what we do here. Well, I'll start this from Social Pressure Boss Chemo, whose wife is celebrating his birthday today. Her birthday, rather. Okay, celebrating her birthday today. Mrs. Intim. Mrs. Intim. Today, Chemo, have you bought teddy bear for your wife or something?
Oh, not yet.
This table you are shaking.
Oh, that one will come later. Not yet. Not yet.
It will come later. Eh?
Yeah.
All right. Then I was asking what you've bought for your wife, a teddy bear or what? That is what I was asking on her birthday.
Oh, as for the teddy bear issue, we will talk about it later. I mean,
This table you are shaking is one leg.
yeah.
But problem. This
Yeah.
one, I call it problem.
Yeah. But today we are dedicating the show to Quenchemo. Yeah, Mrs. Intim. Yeah, so yeah, I think she will be happy to hear from you guys wishing her happy birthday. So I think we just have to do that and dedicate the whole show to her for today. But why are you laughing, Roland? I don't get Roland at this point. Why is he laughing like that?
Don't mind Roland. When he starts buying teddy bears, he will understand.
Yeah, you understand. Yeah.
Yeah, dedicating the whole show. That is that more funny.
So, Chemo, I asked about the betting tax that has been removed from the system and what many are saying, the implications, the impact, and what have you. What do you have to say?
Code negative in your betting tax ni 11 no. And ne baby Kwame Nkrumah akwa je obechebi lam to mu nyina hyene no. They will rejoice. This is the Ghana now no more peno ene abam. Finance minister ene all kokan budget no. Streets nyina tai din we mu nyina sign for once. If you see in the history of Ghana see about kind budget na ghettos nyina bebia market women fittest obia epe baby akope budget ni be tie. The reason is very simple because of the betting tax ni 11 no. Many say me gigina mu say ye beto aba no party with my promises say oba obet me ayi betting tax no any 11 from any party be nante wo man we mu. And a JDM the John Dramani Mama say, "Code, my betina so da, mako mahundi ewum me say ba. I promise the world, so just give me 100 days, and I will scrap off that nuisance tax. I'm afraid the nuisance tax. Do you buy first month? You pay buzana code at the unipano at the Indian Echo. Now me catch the streets, your video. Now me the namasie say, Father we beg, Father we beg." The first one what say it is streets na dictate bibia. I very simple.
Yeah, you see, there's two sides to this thing. I mean, for some people, they think that there's hope in them betting. Like one day they will win big and they will become millionaires or rich people. But I'm sorry to say that it's just a dream. It won't happen under normal circumstances. There are few people in this world who have made it through betting. Even for them, give them 5 years, they will come back to their normal position. Most of them, after winning huge money from betting, they will still lose the money at the end of the day. So betting, well, it sounds nice. It gives hope that yes, there is a way that you feel that you can also make it in life. But the truth is that it is really, really difficult or near impossible to make it in life through betting. Only few people can do that. When the government decide to do the betting tax thing, there's a two sides to it. The first side is the fact that they want money. They think that people are putting their money there so they can also collect something to take care of Ghana. That's one side of it. The other side is a form of punishment, or it's a way to discourage people from betting. But mostly it won't work. I mean, we have seen it even when you consider other things like cigarettes that there's warning on it. In fact, they have insisted that we put a warning on it that it is harmful to your body, but still people smokes. They smoke. They don't care about the warning that is put on that thing. I think the same thing is with the betting thing. No matter open for we say tax in so people will still do their bet. They will still bet. So the punishment sometimes it's not as effective or the way that we want it. So it will end up like we just want money from whatever that people are getting from that side. But for those who wish or who feel that they can also make it through betting, obviously they will be happy. And I think this time around, there is also a political angle. Because people were saying that NPP should have, shouldn't have even gone there. They shouldn't have added that tax thing for the betting. But they did anyway, hoping that it will get the effect that they were looking for, but we didn't see anything. And now the NDC people are in government and they want to remove it. Obviously, politically, they will score points. People will feel better about it now, especially for those who are also in it. Somebody like Shatta Wale, even at this time that he has released a song called Betting Tax for the whole thing. And some people even consider it as a diss song to the MPP people. And a whole lot of people are making commentary about that one too. So for those who are into betting, for those who want to try their luck through betting, they will be happy. But me, at this point, I would say that I'm more neutral than to say that I'm happy or not. And my point is simple. I know that it is near impossible to make it through betting. So there's no way I will encourage anybody to go and bet and hope that you will make good money for a good life. Yes, and at the same time, you can't just take hope from people like that. Some people feel that they can make it through it. So why do you want to take it away from them? Let them have that hope. Hope maybe they will be the luckiest one. As I said, there are few people who get lucky and make it through that side. But most people will rather lose money or lose their property through betting. Only few people or very minute people will make it through it. So I'm in the middle here. I won't say that I'm happy that they are taking the betting tax off, just because it is a way to punish those who want to engage in betting. And again, I will also not say that it should be there so that you punish people who just want hope, hoping that one day they will also make it. So for me, I'm neutral here, and for political reasons, I think it is good for the government in power now, because those who are against it will love them for doing this.
Well, I think your point well made, and obviously there will be many other people who will be sharing the same opinions as you have shared. But what is Roland also saying in regards to this bet tax that has been withdrawn from our scheme of things when it comes to government's financial and fiscal policies? They are saying there are no more betting taxes on the people. Ro, what are you also saying?
For me, I think any decision that is made based on moral grounds do not have or doesn't have a good lifespan. Any decision that is made based on morals, because what happens is that the moment you get another group of people, either with the same strength or a higher strength than you, getting or having a different moral position on that subject matter, yours is likely to be kicked out. And that is what we are seeing. If we want to talk about betting and reasons why they would want to introduce this, I believe that majority of that decision was based on moral grounds than business. Yes, it is tax, and we know tax is used for to develop the country. Nti under normal circumstance, anka banika say obeje taxa, and can share that any problem. But the reason behind it, majority of that reason is based on moral grounds, because somebody somewhere thinks that betting is a sin and it is morally wrong Intino, and they have seen the youth or majority of the youth engaging in bets. So how do we discourage them from betting and also get money? Okay, let's use this tax, let's put tax on it or through taxation. Now, forgetting that even without taxing them directly, there are still other ways that you can still tax them, and it is through these companies that they patronize. Because in whatever way these companies operate within your jurisdiction, these companies operate within your jurisdiction, of which they pay tax already. So if you want to tax the consumers of those platforms, you can do it through the companies, and the companies can also exert those things onto the consumers without even the consumers knowing they are even paying that tax. Because companies in the say, okay, say odds no, because we are paying tax right now, and they will obviously remove the tax from also their account to consumers. So, into that year two full muna niama kosra, because at the end of the day, the companies will increase the prices, and the people who purchase those products will be the one to bear the cost. So companies limit me akase say see us nesun ye ma 10 hours 15 hours ye better swap 7 6 and 5, so we can subsidize the tax increment that the government is putting on us. Okay. But unfortunately for the previous government, they decided to go the moral route, which is okay, let's take it to them direct. And when you do that, they will rebel, because at the end of the day, they don't see any service that you are rendering to them of which you would want to come for tax. Yeah. But they will not fault the company, because they know say company in a creative platform no. Enti ka company ne ka so budget tax the company companies ni problem. But a buy na budget tax na direct no. No mu bi so mo say one our creative company ni dabi, one other company ni buy dabi, uje company ni tax o say beje me tax. Then no way. And that is where the conflict is. So for me, I believe say yes, because majority of the reason, and if it is to discourage people, it even shows that majority of that decision was based on morals. Because discouraging people on something, and it is based on moral grounds there, then there are so many things that then if you want to discourage people from betting, then don't let them operate in the first place. It's as simple as that. You don't want celebrities to advertise alcohol and stuff. They just put a ban on them, an embargo on them, and nobody is doing it. Yeah. When you take off the betting companies from the system, and none of them are able to operate in your jurisdiction, that is when you know you are having 100% result of whatever you are looking for. But you allow them to operate, and you want to put strict measures to discourage people. Forget. The basic human instincts is survival. Opa, catch and say, Odi, I'll bet you 90%, and then cut 10%. They will still go for the 10%. Because they believe and hope that is where their survival lies. Into yet they will still go. So for me, I am not surprised that the current government is trying to abolish, or is coming to abolish the tax, of which some people are happy. Because I know, definitely, it is a way, if not for anything at all, aside the moral side of it, okay, betting, why it is addictive and what not. No. On the government's part, I know, perhaps they had a good motive. So, okay, it is another way of generating money for the country. Of which I know, this government will take the betting tax off and will still introduce it elsewhere, somewhere else.
Yeah. Robbing Peter
to pay Paul. When you are robbing Peter, robbing Paul, you are able to. You see, they will definitely put it somewhere else, and you might not see it. A typical example is what I gave earlier on. They can take it from the people, go and give it to the companies, and the companies will also shove it down to the people indirectly, without us knowing. Yeah. And in that sense, they will still get their monies anyway. So I believe that the next time, if this should be a lesson even to this current government, for them to understand that if you want to take a decision and it is based on moral grounds largely, then know that the lifespan for it is very short. But if it is based on business grounds, there are so many avenues that you can use to implement those stuff, and it will still work for you, and you might get the same results. This should be a moral lesson even to this government. For the past government, no, I didn't obey your call. But you rather has the baton, and you have to prove something to the people. So taking it off there, they will jubilate. But me, I also urge my fellow Panthers and bookmakers to understand that this one, and when it comes, we should be able to stomach it. And especially if the explanation based on it is more on a business grounds than a moral grounds.
Well, these are some of the valid points that many will be putting out, just as my panel members have also done here on Sammy Flex TV. Meanwhile, we are still monitoring whether these will give some people relief within the system. Because at a point, people were saying, oh, we are not getting work to do. We are not getting jobs to do as a youth in the country. Yet, what is trying to give us something small to feed to, you are saying you are coming to put a tax on it. As this has been taken off, let's see what it will mean to those who felt or thought they were relying on betting to survive. Meanwhile, in another case, still in Ghana, tourism is really on the rise. Take it or leave it. The government is really bent on making sure that Ghana becomes one of the world's best tourism destinations. Because of that, they have brought in place some key people to manage affairs like the Ghana Tourism Authority and other places. Now, when you go to a place like the Mashie, where some tourist sites, historical monuments are located, many people come from abroad, outside of Ghana, to come get education, information about how things are done there, how things were done there. But unfortunately, you get then the locals, aka the indigents, they have a way of manipulating the system there to make money for their own interest. So earlier, a video surfaced where a young man who has made himself a self-tour guide, taking people around, giving them history. Sometimes some of their history, they are distorted. You listen, distorted rather. You listen to some of them, I'm going to Didro, some Yet these foreigners will be listening and be nodding their heads. Oh, okay. And now, one of such persons were caught recently, even asking money from one of the tourists. And it will shock you how much money he asked. Just $200 to complete a whole structure. Like $200 to complete a structure. When someone like Wode, who is also a tourism agent or ambassador for Ghana, saw the video, he wasn't happy about it. Because of that, he shared the video and called the attention of the Ghana Tourism Authority, mentioning their CEOs and their assistants to come and check what the gentleman was seen doing. Interestingly, that has also gotten the attention of the GTA leaders, and they have also responded quickly to it. Therefore, going to the place, getting to know who was that, asked questions about it, and the person's questions came out as some way not convincing as to why he was taking the money from the gentleman. Because he was not happy and he felt someone has choked him, aka someone has fingered him, he has gone to the riverside to test Ghana's only tourism ambassador, self-made tourism ambassador representing Ghana, Wode. He's in the river. And some people say, this dirty river that you are standing inside to tell someone, he is cursing Wode to actually die. Now, there are two videos. The first one, the reports where the minister, the tourism authority heads were called in, and we watched the second video where we saw that the gentleman was cursing Wode, and we come back to ask. We know what they do, and we have seen it before. The way Wode handled it, was it the best? The way our people came in, was it the best? And maybe moving forward, how are we to handle such people within such localities who have been taking advantage of the tourism facilities or tourist facilities in their areas. Let's watch this video. When I come back, definitely we will be sharing some ideas and information. Stay tuned.
Let me show you my room. Let me show you my
That
room.
is nice.
I've never finished my room, but I'll show you my
Thank
room.
you.
I'll show you. I short of money to complete. So it's there.
But since how long you been working on this?
Oh, I studied this for 8 years. So
Oh.
I come this way to pick the little children one by one to the school. Because this is the oldest.
Okay.
But no support from the leaders. You see, I was building a boat. One big trip from my country region. The name of it is Kawawa Shatta. Shatta being it, it's nice to see the work of me. Let me show you, this is my room. I've never finished.
It's still under construction. Okay.
Because I short of money.
Nice. Okay.
So this is my
So this
room.
is what it's gonna be.
Yeah.
And you said you've been doing it for 8 years now.
Yeah.
Wow. So it's still taking a lot of time.
It's money.
It's money, yeah.
And I don't want to rush myself. When I get, I'll do when I
And do you think how much money it's gonna cost to?
when I have like $200, I can
$200. You can
because I'll
finish it.
buy the slates,
Okay.
I'll buy the cement to make it nicely. We were Jamestown, we saw me, we saw Bakuya Kole, Bakuya, I see. With Maya, who from me fraud? Who from me scammer? If I'm a scammer, meet me to Jamestown because me Juma way I check. Me scam me obi ada. Me seize you camera da. I see my seize you camera. Me jaw man so way. Some passer my seize you camera. Alone passer my scam me obi. And I'm a job is scout on the same side me the koya idea. Na me find ya and so when family di. Na say yes sir me can't try be I say. Mami ska na me find ya idea and I'm a miska. Na me find ya bibi and I'm it Jamestown with sabra for follow ba. Me scam me omunu. Nyakupo attach away. I'm family di pass and yes sir na. With Maya. Me na bo je chale wo. Videos ni na. News ni na. Femi shibu anyungo. Shibu anyungo ni ya wene. Kele la ke favor doko. Alo ba scam boda. Alo bla fojo ko ba Jamestown. Scam le da. Shibu anu ne ni kashine. Shibu anu ne ni kashine.
Well, so Rastaman, who was seen in the video, obviously not a happy man, and he has been cursing left, right, and center. Myself and Roland, I think we have experienced them before. One of these days, when we went to that place for a video shoot for Shatta Wale, we experienced something like that. Roland, let's go through the process. The person who was doing something, thinking, "Oh, I'm helping community, society." How Wode Maya reported it, the response from GTA, and the cases. What do you have to say about all these issues?
First, let me start from the cases. The cases need the unfan soho and no cover via bogus cases.
He's giving Atiabi vibes.
You cannot curse the water for the water to be clean, but you have strength to go use that same water to curse up. The same water that they themselves are spoiling it, are messing up that water body. They want to they are now seeing the essence, the importance of it to use it to even go and curse somebody. But let's put that aside and put it has no bearing and no cover beer. The issue at hand, is it true or false? It is true. It is very, very true. If you are a patron of these tourist sites, or if you are a lover of and you love patronizing these places, definitely you will come across instances like that. And it dear. I had one of the things that I was doing was Roland's Adventure. I don't know if you remember, where I was visiting tourist sites and stuff. It was one of the things that put me off. Because sometimes you would want to patronize some of these places share your experience with people so you can, if not for anything at all, aside your personal satisfaction, drive people towards the place or help through light to the place, and you get meet up with some of these things that it will put you off, discourage you totally. It is not about even the fact that whether you can afford whatever they are demanding or not, but the intimidation, the hustling that you will have to go through is one that you ask yourself, what is the end game? Like, what is the essence of it? And sometimes if it might put you off. Yes, in situations like that, some people would call it extortion. For me, what I think the problem is, and if not, one thing that I am happy about this conversation or what Wode Maya did, is that at the end of the day, the conversation will not end on this guy. Yes, even though the spotlight was put on this guy and his likes, I believe that the conversation goes beyond this guy and the people like him who are quote unquote extorting money from people there. The conversation goes beyond them, because the thing is that we have tourism centers and stuff, of which they have branches at the district level, the municipal level and stuff, where even when you go to these tourist sites, they have their offices, of which they are official representatives of the tourism office there. But the unfortunate situation is that, or what the heads of these tourism institutions are failing to see, is that those heads that they put in those offices are have rather connived with the locals around that side, and they are doing business with them. Okay. So you see guys like this, they report to somebody big there. They report to somebody obi or what's and that is what is empowering them more, because sometimes, yes, they are the locals, so the probability that they may want to say, okay, so we are supposed to benefit and chop more and get something beneficial from it, high. That one is there. But if the head or the person from the official office doesn't condone this particular act, it will be stopped. They will find ways and means, even if it means bringing the security services into it to help control some of these deeds. They will do it so that they don't have a bad image. But the truth of the matter is, most of them, if not all, are benefiting from some of these things. That is why this practice has been there for long. And in fact, if you count about 100% of the tourist sites we have in this country, 90% or 98% all have these experiences or these kind of people there. Fact. How you approach them, how you deal with them, will determine whether you will fall victim or not. Or maybe who you are can even determine whether you will fall victim or not. Because like you said, even me, aside the one that we experience there, personally, I am a gun self from that side self. I've experienced something like that before. I even entered into a scuffle with them at a point. So you see, it is something that they do, and because they have also been empowered by the supposed authorities, they feel so much entitled to the extent that they don't see anything wrong with it. So me, what I will urge these the authorities, that is Deputy Abeku Santana and Mrs. Hodgetu, thank you, that they should know that this particular problem is not about going to put a camera on that particular guy, but the conversation goes beyond him. And you see the scammer tag that Wode Maya put on him, I believe it is also out of his frustration.
Well, I heard he had personal encounter.
You have personal encounter with them, and it dear, especially when also koyo, I know my rights and I know what like we are supposed to do, and you want to as it were have some form of engagement with them, and it dear, you'll be frustrated, because whatever it is, if also only a person of higher authority, and now say who need some strong backing, you will be overpowered and you will feel frustrated. So I believe that it is out of that frustration that Wode made that caption or made that particular post. I've seen so many of my grandbrothers angry that Wode is giving that side of town some bad name and some bad image and stuff. But you see, we should also understand that the fact that the thing is on our land doesn't give us the utmost power over it. And even if we want to do it and we don't do it the right way, it is still wrong. No matter how you look at it, it is still wrong. Because yes, today, and then I will chrome and I will assess so I will feel say, oh, you're entitled to do it. Tomorrow you might find yourself in a different jurisdiction, and if that same thing, that same style is done to you, you may not like it and you would call it unfair. So for me, I think that as for a guy need be about the unfan soho, I don't know, people are speaking things into his head, and he thinks he can just come and do anything to get hype because somebody have told me, hey, with the Maya no post you, no work viral, you've gone viral. This is the time for you to also take your shine. He has given you a bad name. Now people will come and they will not want you to even help them move around and stuff. Because some of these things, it also helps the local guys. It helps them. Yeah. If not for anything at all, it helps them. Now, it is going to collapse that business. And you see, aside the designated authorities or the tour guys themselves who are being trained by these offices, the locals also help. That one day, you cannot dispute that fact. And so this particular tag can also send a bad signal onto them. That I agree. But I also want them to understand that in order not for us to also get some of these bad tags and bad remarks periodically, there's the need for us to also check ourselves. Because some people are definitely giving us a bad name. And as locals, some people are definitely giving us a bad name. And if we don't check ourselves, we don't do self-introspection, and we don't check ourselves within, these are some of the things that may happen, and people may get bad experiences, and they may not even want to come again, or if they have that loud mouth or large following, they may trumpet it, and at the end of the day, it may give us a bad name. It happens almost everywhere. So yes, it is true. It is true, but then the authorities that went to put camera on the guy, yeah, they call the hype, you should understand that this goes beyond the guy. And majority of that conversation also lies in their office. And the ones that they've even decentralized into these municipalities and your friend said districts, it is in their office as much as it is with the locals. It is also in their office because these locals, some of them report to the offices and they use the office's name to do it. You can go and they will tell you, they will just intimidate you and tell you if you want to use camera, if you want to use phone, if you want to use this is the amount. And meanwhile, even after paying the amount, opa catch is open receipt na shade. Catch is open receipt keke na shade. And that is the unfortunate part of this conversation. So for me, if the authorities think that they want to step in, they should do it right. Else, it will not deter anybody. Anybody that will be extorted on a tourist grounds will still be extorted, and there is nothing anybody can do about it.
Well, that is the report so far. Social media has been discussing this same way, and here on Sammy Flex TV, I'm getting to know what my panel members think. Chemo,
Yeah,
you can come through now.
for me, I think the authorities they didn't go there to find out whether there's a problem, like the way they even put the caption that they were there to investigate what actually happened. But going through the video, you can see that they were just trying to say that what people are saying didn't happen, nothing bad happened there. That's the impression that I got from the video. I think they were just denying the scamming tag or whatever bad that some people are putting out there, or the report coming out as the fact that somebody is scamming tourist people going to that place. I think they just came out to deny it, and it's unfortunate. My point here is, well, I don't really like what Wode Maya's approach. I really don't like it, and the reason is,
You did not like his approach, eh?
yes, but when you go deeper, then you get the idea that it is because of the way that he did it. That's why we are even talking about it anyway. But the thing is, how do you determine that it is a scam? We all experience these kind of things when you go to tourist sites, especially where the authorities are not really strong to regulate what happens there. You will see this kind of thing. Not long ago, I got a report going on at Kakum National Park. You see, I think just this independence celebration time, the Independence Day celebration. A lot of people went there. In fact, the schools organized themselves to go there just to have fun or try to access the canopy walk. And guess what happened? I heard that before you can go there as an organized group, you have to go there with a letter first before they will allow you to access the place. Like, they will be expecting you that you will be coming on a particular day. And these people there, they have taken a lot of letters. People that they know for sure that they can access the place if they allow all of them to come. And when you go there with your letter, you pay a fee. When you are entering to access the canopy, you pay a fee. They took the fee, they allow all of them to get in, and they were so much that they can't even access the place. They were just taking money and allowing anybody. If you want to get in, they will take your money. You get in and you see that there's a whole lot of people, so you can access the place. And some of the schools, they went there with a lot of kids, buses, everything, and they couldn't access the place. They were just there with the bus, and they have to just return after paying the money. It got to a point that some of them they told them that, okay, we will give you a refund. Meanwhile, they have taken a bus from whatever distance, paying huge money. And then you want to refund the 1,000 cedis that you took from them at the entrance. Can you imagine? So this one, somebody can also come. Yes, somebody can also come out and say that the people at the Kakum National Park, they are extorting money from people. The same way. But when you go deeper, then you think that no, the problem is not just about that scamming thing or extortion, as you want to call it. The problem is deeper than that. And I think it's the same thing. Yes, it's the same thing that is happening at the tourist site at that Jamestown and then the environs there. One thing is, we know that when you go to such a place, if you are not going there through proper channels, when I talk about proper channels, like you don't contact the tourist authorities or the centers for them to give you a guide. That's the first thing. If you don't go there to get somebody who can take you there and you go there yourselves, be ready for some of these guys. As you call them, the self-appointed local tour guys.
Tourists. Yeah.
They would definitely do whatever it takes to get what they think that they deserve. Even if you are looking at it from the other side and go like, no, this is too much. You see, the guy was defending himself, saying that he did not ask for the $200. The guy asked if the guy asked how much he needs to complete his house. Now I'm wondering where he was sleeping before that guy came there too.
Not that producer.
I'm sure Chimo, he meant to say that the guy asked if there is anything the community needs or if there's anything what they are doing, they would need to support themselves. Then he told him that, oh, I have this. If you want me to, if you want to support me, I have this, my house or my bungalow that I want to refurbish. So if you can support me, then the guy said, okay, how much would you need in the name
Let's
of
go
support?
and see the place.
Yeah.
Aha.
Yeah,
exactly.
So for that one, can we call it an extortion or a scam? I don't.
It doesn't come up clearly like that, but then behind the scenes, we don't know how the conversation started. As a matter of fact,
Good, exactly. So that's my point. It is deeper than what we saw. So to label what we saw as a scam will not come out well. Like you have to give us more than what we just saw, because what we saw, we cannot consider that one as a scam. Just that if you have experienced that place before, you can relate to what Wodemaya was trying to put across. When you go there, they frustrate you. They try to take money from you in a way that they don't have to, or they don't deserve the money that they will be calling for. That one, we know if you have accessed that place before, you have that vibe. So Wodemaya just labeling this particular one as a scam. Those who have experienced it will know what he is talking about. But this particular video, you cannot base on this and say that the guy is scamming him. Because the guy, he had the option of going to the tourist office, Ghana Tourism Authority's office, to ask for a guy to take him there. He can go with the group so that some of this thing will not happen. If he decides to go there alone, like he did, then whatever he pays for is whatever he needs to pay. That's the thing. So you can't just label this particular one as a scam. Just that we know the kind of things that they do around that place. If you have accessed that place before, it is there. They do it. But the thing is, it's not only in Ghana or only in Africa that this thing happened. I remember when we went to Dubai, we had a similar experience. We were standing somewhere, minding our business. One guy came there with the eagle, just putting it on our hands and later asking us for $50 or something like that. And we were like, but how? Who asked you to?
You call him the eagle master.
Yeah.
Eagle Shaolin.
You see, so it's the same thing. When they think that they can get something from you, they will take advantage of you. Fortunately for us, we went there as a group. We went there with somebody who knows the place, who knows the system. So if anything at all, we can call him and say that this is what the guy is doing, and I think he knows how to deal with him or take care of it. But let's imagine it was only me or only one person who was there. The guy can intimidate you and take them even more from you. Because you went there with nobody who knows the system and can guide you to do the right thing. So if you go there alone, you are going to experience that. And I can bet you, not only in Ghana or Africa, even in the Western world, if you go there and you are not careful, people will do that thing to you. So I wish that people like Wodemaya and then the tourism authorities will rather advise those who are coming to such places what some of the things that you should do and some of the things that you shouldn't do. Then we will have some, yes. So in that way, you will discourage people from going that direction. And again, it will also reduce some of the people, the activities that they do there, because they will not be getting the client to be asking them for $200 help so that they can finish their houses. I wonder where he's living now until that day that the guy came there. So for me, I think it is good that we are putting a spotlight on this particular incident, but we all know that it goes beyond that. That's why my disappointment with the tourism authorities when they went there was just to debunk the fact that what the guy did is not a scam or is not extortion. And for that one, I agree with them. But they know very well that there are other things happening there which are supposed not to happen, or which they can do something about it so that it will reduce, or we will not hear some of these things. But the video is only giving us the side of the guy that we know that if the cameras are not there, they are doing more than what we saw.
Do you love arts? Look no further. Tetekwarshi Art Market is your ultimate destination for the finest handicrafts made in Ghana. From unique designs to authentic Ghanaian artistry, we bring you the best of local craftsmanship. Find us at Tetekwarshi Interchange, along George Bush Highway, adjacent to Evergreen Palms and the Talo office. Need more details? Call us today at 0244631771 or 0553209514. Come, explore, and take home a piece of Ghana's creative heritage. Tetekwarshi Art Market. Experience art. Celebrate culture.
I agree. But I also want to put this across. I think that it is high time the Ghana Tourism Authority would look for the right fit, or better still, the right people to be hanging around these places to even do the education. Because, Chemu, you see, people like the guy we saw in the video, when you go there to listen to the stories they are telling, most of them, they are stories that they have curated themselves. Recently, there was one video like that was trending on social media. The guy was telling some story, and people will say, "Guy, what is the story that he's telling? Where does the story come from?" So, Ghana Tourism Authority should find a way. Get designated people, find a way to label them. So when you get there, you know that, oh, there are some people with some badges, with names, with their registered numbers on it, that when you are dealing with them, you know you are dealing with the right person. Because the Gamashi there, everybody who meets you first is your tour guide, whether you are ready or not. Everybody who meets you first is your tour guide. At least they've heard someone or two. Oh, this is the lighthouse. The people who are standing here to direct ship. This, that. Everybody you meet is your tour guide. So I think at such a place, they should get people there 247, designated people, or even if they like, go to the community. Those who are interested and they can express themselves in other languages like English and maybe Tree or Ewe or any other languages, just go there, train them. Give them the right tools, the right information and education. Let them go through some course. Design some course with that, okay, whoever lived in this area and would want to be a tour guide that has been licensed by the Ghana Tourism Authority and register. Go through the training. When you go to the zoos and I think Takun Park, for instance, when you go there, the moment you meet the people doing the job, you know that, these guys are trained. They know every single detail there. They are not speaking from out of their oblongata. They are speaking real facts and details. But Gamashi, relax people. Akoko is a tourist guide based on who she is meeting. Niyama is a tourist guide based on who he is meeting. In fact, what is even dangerous when a Rasta man meets an Obroni, a white and your friend, the Bluetooth device is ready.
It's connected successfully.
When the dreadlocks guys among them, those who can express themselves a little bit, they meet the white people. Asansi like no kunyan baako pa why didn't walk or we up and baako ama we didn't not you buy the white tomorrow people go to
I think I agree. I think they should train people, even the local people there, not anybody, license them. So that even if there are issues, if somebody is reporting, we can hold somebody that, okay, I think you are the one responsible here, or you are the one doing the bad thing here. You see, this one, there was no complaint. Wode and others watched the video and they are now labeling it as the guy is scamming them. because of, for obvious reason, what they have experienced with that particular guy or other people like him. So that's what really happened, because I've not seen any video or heard anywhere that the guy who was being led or the guy who was exploring the place is complaining that someone cheated or someone is extorting him. He's not complaining. So it's just those who have experienced people like that feel that this is their way of doing things. So obviously they are scamming or cheating him. So I will agree with your suggestions. I think they should rather train them, give them labels or license in a way that if anybody complains, we can go and investigate and hold whoever is responsible to face the consequences.
I am grateful for this input, and I want to believe that some of these things should be discussed at higher positions. Media platforms should take it up. We should not only be interested in what Alodia and Stoneboy are saying. We should also look at the other disciplines in the showbiz space. And when we are able to do this, all aspects of the industry will be clean. And when the industry is clean, we are all going to be fine. Now, let's move into the final camp and go into the offices of Roland Report, where, as part of activities leading to the announcement of nominations of the Telecel Ghana Music Awards and its related activities lined up before their main event in May, Roland Amate has detailed a comprehensive letter to organizers of the scheme Charterhouse. But because he's here, maybe we will let him give us a summary or read the letter and what he seeks to achieve. Then this time, me and Chemo, we would also skim some questions about it. So if he's able to convince us, then it means that he will be able to convince the organizers of the scheme as well. So, Ro, in the final story, we are coming to your office, Roland Reports. We've seen your letter that you've shared to the organizers of the scheme, posted on social media and other platforms as well. In summary, or if you would want to read exactly what you wrote to the organizers, what are you seeking to achieve with this letter? And at the end of the day, what do you want to see?
Well, the letter is very simple, and it is no different from some of the discussions that we've had on this platform concerning the Telecel Ghana Music Awards, some of its category, its definition, and most especially the new one that they've introduced, which is the Urban and Contemporary Gospel Song of the Year. That category is what mostly my concern is about. And out of that is what made me pen this particular letter, because we've had so much discussions, including debate with some people like J Smart, all coming to banter and more, and that is it. But then I felt the need to pen this letter officially to them because I believe that the motive is a good one. The brain behind the scheme, and also the fact that they've been able to do it for that long, is a good one. But again, we are also looking at sustainability. We are looking at how to sustain it. We are looking at the long run. And if we see as stakeholders that there are some loopholes and some details that may not help with the conversation to keep it for a long time, then definitely there is the need for us to point it out to them so they can also rectify or maybe do something about it. And that is the letter. In summary, the letter talks about me describing that category definition as discriminatory. And it is simple. Now, one of the pointers of that category has to do with the fact that it only seeks to award people who tag themselves or pride themselves as gospel artists alone. And in doing that, it is discriminatory because at the end of the day, the scheme in general is not based only, or it was not curated only for gospel musicians and secular musicians as in separate categories, but it is seen as a general something, serving the general purpose. So that is what the letter is about. So in summary, it talks about how discriminatory it is, because in its definition, there's already a first mistake of the gospel song of the year category. That is the general one that has been there for years. The mistake is there. And now they are creating an extension, which is the urban gospel or contemporary song of the year category. And this is it. There is no clear-cut definition of what a gospel song is or who a gospel artist is. The only definition as it stands that they have is when somebody comes out to say, I am a gospel artist. And that is even on that score that they are going to use to say, okay, then this your song is a gospel song. That is the only definition they have. And tomorrow, if somebody wakes up tomorrow and says, an example is Niso. Niso used to be a secular artist. And no matter the kind of song he does and the name of God that he mentioned, would not be able to enter that gospel song of the year category. No matter the kind of gospel he creates. Okay. But now that he is saying he is a gospel, he is pointing to himself to say, I am a gospel musician. Then now he is eligible for those categories. So I ask myself, so if Raskuku does gospel song, of which he has collaboration with somebody like MOG, unfortunately such a record cannot be nominated in gospel song of the year. Kwabna Kwabna's Be Kwaimame. It's a typical gospel song. But if Kwabna had released this song in a year like recently, and a blow, yeah, unfortunately he will not be able to get nomination in the gospel song of the year, much less the now extended version of the urban gospel song of the year. But then, in that same scheme that we are talking about, okay, Adina won Reggae Dancehall Song of the Year. But Adina has never sat anywhere to point herself as a reggae dancehall artist. But she won Reggae Dancehall Song of the Year. Shatta Wale's My Level is also another typical example, winning High Life Song of the Year. So my argument is, if it is the gospel artist that you cannot give them, because of course, as for that one, I believe the artist should own up and say, I belong to that side, before the person can go and compete in the artist category. But when it comes to the art, the song, bro, the truth of the matter is, there are some people who can create that art better than some people who pride themselves as it. Yeah. And if the person is able to go to that extension, to create the art better than some people who pride themselves at it, I believe they deserve a shot at they deserve a shot at recognition, because Adina at a point was able to create a good reggae dancehall song that was able to beat even the people in the reggae dancehall fraternity who pride themselves in that genre, and she was recognized. So if somebody else uses the same lyrics as Be Kwaimame of Kwabna Kwabna, the same melodies, the same beat, the same lyrics, is able to do it, but doesn't pride himself, and because of that, the person will not be able to get nomination, then I believe it is unfair. So I'm just pleading with them. It is either they take it off completely and go and change the category definition so that at least it can suit the universal conversation that we want to have. Else, they should just pack it up. And the final bit has to do with the group of the year. Because when you check the reason why they are bringing the urban gospel category, it is in line with the main reason why they took off the group of the year category off. So I am calling for the review of the category definition of the urban gospel song of the year category, and also the reinstatement of the group of the year category.
Okay, so Roland's understanding of his letter, and we are all behind him solidly to see what the outcome will be. But then, Chemo, I have some 1 or 2 questions, and I know you also have some questions as well. So you can come through with yours. I follow it up with mine before we will say goodbye to today's edition of Showbiz Daily.
Yeah, sure. I mean, for the urban gospel thing that he wrote or he just presented to us, I agree with him to the large extent. I think he is right. They should do more than just making it exclusive for people who are identified as a gospel musician. I don't know if this song Sufre Unyami Se Omuwao Se Unyami Pa Adebe. I don't know why anybody will say that this is not a gospel song because it's Amachi Dede who sang it, or Amachi Dede who created this beautiful piece. So for me, I think they should rather open it up for people to either identify the song as a gospel or not. Then they will judge whether it qualifies to win an award or not, because for that one they are in charge. But for them to exclude people just from the basis that you don't identify as a gospel musician, I think it is limiting, and for that matter I agree with Roland. Now my question is, would it make business sense for the organizers, because they are doing business here? We know that they are doing their things to award people or recognize people that they think they deserve recognition for their good works in the art space. But would it make business sense for them to first of all include the people who are not identified as gospel musicians but they are doing gospel songs? Would it make business sense for the organizers? And my second question will be the same thing for the group of the year coming back. Would it make business sense for the group, for the organizers to bring them back? That would be my question.
Well, I think yes, it will make business sense, because when you look at the basis of which they are even bringing this category in the first place, one of it is to encourage more people to also join or jump on it. Therefore, that is one of the reasons, or that is one of the ways they think they can sustain it. What it means is that if they should reinstate the group of the year, it is the same thing. It is not as if even when they took that category of the system, we don't have groups again, or we've not even seen emerging groups. We've seen them. We have so many of them in the system. Team Eternity is one of them. Santrophy Band is another. And we can talk about so many of them. And if it is on that score, they would want to scrap it off, or if it is on that score, they would want to say, okay, because it was not competitive. I believe now it is, because the merit on which they are basing on to bring this urban gospel category, it is on that same merit. And it is about the people being involved in the scheme, talking about it, giving it talkability, and in fact, even going to the extent of using their money to vote, of which will generate revenue for the scheme. And I believe if they should open it up, then we know that if it is all play, or if an artist gets nomination in almost all the categories and doesn't get in, let's say, the gospel category, now if the artist stands a chance of getting nominated in that same category, now if the person is voting, the person is going to vote in all the categories, which is going to generate revenue in the first place. So for me, I think yes, if it is even based on business grounds, it is going to bring more business to the table, if you ask me, because now we are going to have more people included in diverse categories. And now if the person usually gets nominated in 3 categories, now the person can be eligible to be nominated in about 4 or 5 categories, and now it will bring more money to the scheme, more talkability, more visibility, and all of that. Because because it is even a popular based award scheme, even if we want to check the popularity of some of these urban gospel artists, I can confidently tell you that some of even the groups like Santrophy, Inchinchim, and all that, Dope Nation, Scotty Bansmo, their popularity do not come anywhere close to these people that I've mentioned. Their popularity do not come close to these people. So if it is on that sense, and even with that, you would want to give them an exclusive category, I believe there is the need for you to also open it up, because even the category definition even says that the element of the song, of the urban gospel song, should be pop based, and all the elements that has to do with the Afrobeats, the high life and stuff. And these are the same elements that these people use in their songs. And they feel their vibe, they feel their Bible. It is a gospel song, and it is being played in churches. So if that song is being nominated, I believe if Kwesi Ameruga and Ekoka Ediake, because are eligible. But this was done by a gospel band, and they are getting nominations in there. So yes, even on the business grounds, it will still bring them more business, because now everybody or so many people would even come to compete in that same category. It will make it competitive, and it will bring more money.
Well, I also have just some two questions before we can run away from here. The first one is the fact that I know TGMA, they have the time that they pick public opinions and reviews of their scheme. That is after putting out their nominations, which are here is this weekend or so. Right after they open it up for people who have diverse opinions to submit their information to them. Why did you not wait for that time, but you decided to take the lead before they will even put out their nominations? And again, the second one will be, um, how are you submitting this letter to them? So it will not be just something on your socials to be consumed by ordinary people instead of reaching the direct people. Why these two questions? I would want answers to them.
Okay, so the first one is why I'm releasing it now and not waiting for the window. So this is the reason. Okay, so before the window is opened, they've already announced their nominations or nominees for the various categories, of which those categories would stand, and that is what people are going to compete on. Yes, when they open the window, this is what it means. They are going to open a window, a small window, to a flood, like to so many reviews and concerns towards that time. And we all know that, yes, as first they started with 1 week, and they realized that 1 week was not enough, and they added another week to it, making it 2. I believe that if by that time this particular conversation is not looked into from the onset, assuming they already nominate urban gospel songs of the year, and they go ahead with it, at that point, if you should go and dispute or give reasons for them to scrap it off, it will be something that is going to create more confusion to the scheme. But if before that they come and tell you, okay, we've seen these concerns, we've seen that concern, and we think we need to draw it back, that time it is not going to create any form of confusion, because those people have not been nominated self. Those people have not been nominated self, but it is going to create more enmity for them if they nominate people and somebody comes to dispute, and of that matter they want to scrap it off. It is going to create lots of confusion. That is the first reason. And also for them to also know and see the need or the reason for them to consider this conversation even before that time. Because I believe during that time, lots of them would come, and probably they may want to treat it, and they may not have ample time to treat all the concerns as they may come, and they may even want to put some of them into the following year. So that is the reason why I decided to, if not for anything at all, at least this week, they are preparing to announce it. So if not for anything at all, if they chance on this concern, they will be able to do something, either do something about it or even have a communication for it, even on the day of announcement, when they will be announcing the categories or the nominees of the various categories. And the second one has to do with the medium in which I'm sending this letter. So before I posted it on my socials, I had already sent it to them through their official email. Even before that, I spoke with, I think I met the PRO, Mr. Robert Clark, one time, and I told him about it. Okay. And he was like, oh, you can send it even now. And I was like, okay, cool. So I went online, took the official email, and sent it to them officially. So it will not just be like, okay, it is on my socials, because they can say, okay, you've raised your concern, but we've not seen it, because perhaps you did not address it to us officially, or we feel you are not speaking to us officially. So yes, aside my socials and other people that I've sent it to, I've also sent it to them officially via email.
Okay. Well, it makes sense, and we will be on standby to see how it goes. But is it something that you're also ready to follow it up on, or on some media platforms, just to drum it home the more? or you are just leaving it there like that because you've sent it to them? You want to leave it there like that to see the outcome?
Oh, definitely. I am ready to answer all the questions that may come with it. Even when I posted it on my socials, Ninoy, who is also part of that fraternity, came to comment that he disagrees with me and would send his response later. So I know that yes, raising such conversations, it will bring questions and it will bring other opposing comment from the other side. But it is going to be a dialogue. What you believe in, what I believe, and what the fact states, and how it is going to help the whole industry at large. So yes, I am ready, which is why I've been on the presser. My number is there, my information is there. Anybody that would want to reach me for any form of clarification or explanation, even if they have any form of questioning and they want to know more about the reason behind the letter, why not? Maybe I said you'll be a bit kind at from the onset, and maybe they may have other questions that probably I did not put in the letter and they would want to ask. Of course, I am ready anytime, any day, but most importantly, a response from the scheme itself or from the organization itself would mean a lot to me.
Okay, thank you so much, Roland Amate, for that one. We will sure be on standby to see the feedback or the response that will be coming from the organizers of Ghana Music Awards that is sponsored by Telecel. And on this note, let me say we bring today's show to successful end. Activities are still happening here in London, and I'll be updating you guys. I am booked for an interview with Adeshope and your woman, that is Ohima. What's the other name?
Ohima Santi.
Ohima Santi has also reached out. So I'll be a little out and about, yes, speaking to the people about the industry, Shatta movement, Sammy Flex TV, and more. So definitely we will be spending this week here. Next week we drop to Ghana for other activities that will be announcing later. So guys, thank you so much. To Theophilus Digosh, thank you. Sam Tuga, thank you. And once again, special happy birthday greetings from London to Quincy, aka Queen Chemo, Mrs. Intim. Happy birthday to you. We'll buy teddy bear for you when I'm coming. A big teddy bear. I'll put a teddy bear in the cargo compartment when I'm coming because it is huge. All right, guys, you connect again some other time. Sure. I'm out of here. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Everybody check now. Check it. Fa check it. Fa check it. Check it. The beat is real. Don't wait, make it kill ya. Get your green select glucometer and check it. Sugar level, check it. For check it. For check it, Green select glucometer. For check it. Push sugar level, for check it. For check it. Green select glucometer. Everybody check now. This advert has been vetted and approved by the FDA.